Welcome to Santos Brothers Eats.
Food worth mentioning. Okay. All right. So this is Kenny Santos for Santos Brothers Eats, where we're talking about food worth mentioning. I'm with my brother, Chef Jeff. And, we were supposed to, we had this whole schedule. We were going to do a great review or a great review of the ramen festival by Street Market. But they were being really responsible. They didn't have to close, but I didn't close it. They postponed it, which I guess they're not doing it till next year. I don't know what that really translates into. But It did not happen last weekend, which disappointed us, but I think it's all for the best. Right, Jeff?
Yeah, exactly right. Because the case, September 26th right now, 28th, sorry. The cases were going up all last week. So Street Eats did the responsible thing. And they postponed the ramen festival for a later date. And in fact, another food truck place also postponed their events.
Okay.
They weren't as well manned as Street Eats Market was. They were just out in a parking lot. And so, but they decided, you know what, this is too risky to do this. So they closed down as well. But from their last Instagram and Facebook post, Street Eats are planning to do a Christmas market. So we shall see, because the regular one in Toronto at the distillery, they have canceled it for this year. So we'll see what Street Eats Markets does, and hopefully the cases will go down by that time, and they could come back with a Christmas market, and that's something I can't wait for.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to see something like that, and hopefully it's. The weather cooperates too, right? Because if it's going to have any sort of success, or not success, but if it's going to have any sort of or increased chance of safety, it's got to be outdoors. Indoors is just going to work out. Instead of doing the ramen festival, it's ramen or ramen,
I think it is ramen.
Ramen. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of doing the ramen festival, we are because we promised. We did this a couple weeks back, and we did the CNE treats, and we promised there to at least be another one, because there's a huge list, and we're going to be doing CNE treats number 2. And the CNE, of course, is this Canadian National Exhibition. Did not take place this year because of the pandemic and the resulting resulting lockdown. But we can still remember what we've had to eat. Mm-hmm. So, we were just looking through the list, and we have a big old list once again.
Yeah,
and
we do.
Go ahead.
So let's just start off. Let's save some of the good ones for last. So for some reason, I don't remember what year this was, but for some reason, pickles were a big hit or a big discovery or something. So they had pickle pizza. They actually had pickle juice. To drink.
Okay.
But what we did, we actually went and had what they call the big pickle dog. So they took one of the more huge pickles, like cucumber-sized pickles. They hollowed it out. They put a cooked hot dog in there, and then they made it into like a corn dog. So think of a corn dog, but instead of just a hot dog in the middle, it's actually a hot dog in a pickle with the corn dog batter, and then deep fried. So a corn pickle dog.
Yeah, pickle dog.
Let's call it that.
Yeah, it was just on a stick there, and I guess that's the type of, if you're used to having relish, you don't need to have relish because there's pickle already there.
That's right, yeah.
So
and just some ketchup or something like that, or mustard. If that's what you need, you like.
I remember I'm not there's deep fried pickles that you can get at different restaurants. When I lived in the States, they had that, and I'm just not like it. I like pickles, I just don't like deep fried pickles. And Jeff, I think Jeff's less of a fan of pickles than I am.
I'm not a big fan of pickles. I will have it on stuff. But actually, deep fried pickles I don't mind them. I won't eat a whole bowl full of them. If they're out there with some ranch sauce, or, the sauce that St. Louis Wings has, I think it's a dill sauce. Yeah, I don't mind
so
that.
It's a white creamy sauce then, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a dill sauce.
Exactly right.
Good. Yeah, I'll share it with people, but I don't know if I'd actually order it.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. And so this is an interesting, I had it just because, it's a pickle dog, right? You got to have it.
Right.
And if you like pickles, man, something to, and if you like, if you have relish, I guess, on your hot dog,
So that's something that you don't need, you don't use anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, pickles were on the trend. Pickles was on pizza,
Yeah,
you know,
it
all
was one
that
of those
stuff.
weird things where they said, "All right, let's have pickles."
Absolutely.
Add pickles to everything.
So that was one of those things that we had. We also had pizza on a stick, since we're talking about
Yes.
food on a stick. Now, pizza on a stick, you might think, maybe it's like the shape of a corn dog. It's kind of like almost like a pizza pop on a stick, or pizza rolls or something like that are on a stick. That's not what this was. This was like an actual slice of pizza that was on a stick. Do you remember that, Jeff?
I do. And
Yeah.
what I liked about it, it was the stick was actually one of the painting sticks, like
Yeah, like
painters used to paint, stir the paint cans with.
yeah, those the stir sticks,
Right.
but I think if I remember correctly, like I think that stir stick was branded.
It probably was. Yeah. I look at the picture now. Your hand is hiding the actual writing. But yeah, I don't see why not. Get more advertising there.
Yeah, and I remember that specifically getting that. That was actually the first year that I came back to the X, because I
Ah,
remember for some reason I was really hungry still, and I knew that a regular piece of pizza just wouldn't kind of
and cut it.
it wouldn't cut it. It would not satisfy my appetite. And then I saw the pizza on a stick,
Right.
and it looked it looked like a deep dish, like it was so thick. I was like, wow, that is a piece of pizza there. I didn't even know it was on a stick before I decided I wanted it. I was like, I just want that pizza. So when you
Right.
see it, it's big, and it's not that thin piece of pizza that you would get like
No,
in a pizza. It's very substantial. It's a pretty good piece of pizza. There's a lot of cheese on
it
it.
was.
And I can't remember, was it just a pepperoni, Jeff? Like just
Yeah.
pepperoni cheese? Yeah.
This pepperoni pizza, they might have had other toppings or other choices, but what I found weird, or sorry, unusual. So it wasn't like they baked the pizza and they cut into slices and they put a stick through it. They actually looked, from what I remember in the picture, they actually made slices like with the raw dough, put the stick through it, and they actually baked it on the stick itself.
Oh,
You could
definitely.
tell, yeah, but how the cheese is melting on the outside edges. And just like, again, the way that the stick was holding the pizza, like Ken is holding it up and the pizza is there, like just right there.
Yeah, I'm holding it up like a corn dog. Like I'm just
Yeah.
holding it up. And absolutely, yeah, that was definitely baked in there. That was not something like that they made and then they stuck the pizza,
No.
stuck the stick in there. That was
Yeah.
baked in there. And it holds up surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Now that I think back on it. But that was a very, very filling piece of pizza. It really hit the spot, and I'm glad that I had that.
Oh yeah. That
Have
was
you
good
seen it
pizza.
since? Has it been there? Like obviously not this year, but have you seen it since then or no?
I'm trying to remember if I have or not. Like I wasn't really looking for it, but
Yeah.
I don't, you know what? No, I apologize. I do remember seeing it. I remember I was in the food building, and I do remember just passing by and was, oh, pizza on a stick again.
Nice, nice.
And that was it. I said, okay, I'm good.
Cool thing about pizza on a stick or something like that is that, every year at the X, there's always something, actually not even something, a handful of things that are kind of weird or exotic or strange. And if you're coming with your kids that might not be into that, they might not be eating, a pickle dog, for example, right?
No.
Or something else, or a Nutella bacon sandwich, right? But
Right.
they
Yeah.
probably will have a piece of pizza, and this is something that's safe that they can walk and eat, and it will really hit the spot. So that's a great thing about something like that.
Oh yeah. Too
Yeah.
true. And so then next we had is the whole hog cinnamon roll.
Mm.
And basically it was a cinnamon roll or a cinnamon bun, but on top of it was bacon and pulled pork. And it was a generous amount of pulled pork. And I guess the bacon was just mixed in with the pulled pork, because the picture I'm looking at, I just see the cinnamon roll and pulled pork on top. But from what I remember, actually, I remember that this is one of our last things we ate that day at the CNE.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were like, oh, all right, the last thing, let's just finish this and go. But it was good. Like pulled pork, bacon, you can't go wrong.
Well, that's really a no-brainer for us, the Santos brothers, because we love sweet and on our meat. So you know, when you have a cinnamon roll that's already sweet and gooey, and then you decide to put bacon on it and pulled pork, it's really a no-brainer for us. And the way we do it when we go down to the X, it's not like we each get one. We didn't each get one, right? We shared that, right?
No, we shared it.
Yeah. So, I mean, whenever we get something, we always just share it so that we all can taste it. Because if we all eat something, we're all going to get full. We don't get to taste everything that we want to taste. So,
correct.
You know, we all had a piece of that. I would actually get it again. Like if it was available, I'd get it again, you know, because it's tasty.
I'm pretty sure you could find it somewhere, like maybe a regular restaurant out there will just have it as part of the regular menu.
Absolutely.
So I don't see why not.
And they're called the whole hog, right, Jeff?
Whole hog. Yeah.
The whole hog. Yeah.
Whole hog cinnamon roll.
Yeah, I'd definitely get that again. And then we had Bug Bistro.
Yes.
So bugs were for a while kind of getting in as the alternate source of protein, but I think plant took over. You know, Beyond Meat took over, and the other alternatives for the protein. So bugs still kind of. I mean, well, they're still around.
They're still around. Actually, I remember seeing them at the Loblaws a couple of weeks ago, and it was like a PC branded crickets, and I was like, oh, wow.
So was it a frozen thing or what was it?
No, it was dried. It was dried.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it flour?
Actually, no, you're right. So it was actually, they had two varieties of, or was it flour? You know what? It could have been bug flour.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that. I've heard of the bug flour. But the cool thing about bug flour is, if I understand correctly, there's a lot of protein in it.
Yes, exactly right.
And less carbs. So less carbs, more protein. So I don't know if it's necessarily keto friendly, but keto friendlier, certainly.
Yes.
I would imagine. But yeah. I have, and so you saw the flour that was dry over at Loblaws. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. So for the Bug Bistro, and they were actually there again last year, but I forgot what they had, or they had anything new. But what we ordered was so everything I'm going to name out had bugs in or on top of it of some sort. So the taco grillos was tacos, and I can't tell what's on it. So maybe just basically tacos, side dishes of lettuce, cheese, tomato, and the bugs were the protein with some sauce. The bug dog was basically just an ordinary hot dog with bug garnish on top. But the crispy critter spring rolls, so they were like an egg roll or lumpia, but inside, instead of meat, they had vegetables and the bugs inside. So that's what we had. So
yeah, and I gotta say this now: those bugs, are those usually, obviously they're washed and they're dead and everything, but are those? Oh yeah, those are deep fried, Jeff. Like, how are those prepared?
Usually, yeah. So like you said, so they're not just found on the ground. They use them. They're I guess they're cultivated. They're somehow cleaned, and then they're roasted. And then that's how they become dry. Then you could either serve as is, or like you said, make it into a flour and go from there. So yeah, and then that's how they serve it.
That may have been that wasn't the first time I've eaten bugs before. I remember they had chocolate. Remember when we were younger, they had like chocolate covered grasshoppers. Do you remember that?
They had chocolate covered grasshoppers. Candied grasshoppers and everything else like these. And I think these are like crickets.
Yeah, those were crickets. Yeah. And then actually the first time I encountered like bug as a food was David Suzuki, like on some science show, after school science show. He was eating basically fried mealworms. I remember he was eating those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this is back when I was very young. So I remember he was eating that and thought, And actually I was so open-minded that I said, well, I'm open to trying that, but like I wouldn't know how to make them or clean them or find them.
That's right. Yeah.
Back then, but I would open to taste it because he fried it up in butter and a lot of salt and stuff, so it looked good to me. I was like, wow.
Of course he did.
Yeah. So you know what? There's more of the novelty with the tacos, the spring rolls and the bug dog. More of a novelty, and I wouldn't say it's good or bad either way.
No.
But if you just want to try bugs, it's a great way to do it. Yeah. But if you're just having a meal, and if you're just hungry, you're better off just getting a hot dog, right? Because it's just going to cost a lot more to have bugs on top of it. So,
and plus too, like there's no real taste to the bugs themselves, like the crickets. Yeah, there's no real taste to them because they're roasted, so you get more of a roasted taste than anything else.
Yeah, that's true. But it's to me, it's comforting to know that there's an alternate source of protein out there, that seems to be, like, I would imagine that it's very abundant out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bugs out there. So.
Oh, exactly right. Yeah. And yeah, if you watch Survivor, when they do those food challenges, most of those foods are actually part of the regular staple, or Amazing Race, or regular staple of the people that live in those countries.
Yeah.
So bugs, bats, tarantulas, for them, it's like, oh, okay, this is what we eat for themselves. So for the North American palate, it's like, oh, or just an adventure.
Yeah. There's even, there's candy stores that you can get, like, there's bugs inside lollipops. Do you remember that, Jeff?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Like, even like scorpions. It was like so weird. Like little scorpions. It was kind of weird. Like, I've never gotten one. Maybe I should do one for a video or something. Who knows?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we had Farm to Fryer next.
Yes. So this was one of the ones that was really interesting. So Farm to Fryer, basically, it's they build themselves as an actual farm, and they get their food from farmers, and then they bring it to the CNE and make their dishes. But the dish of the year for them was the fried pig ear sandwich. So basically, it was crispy fried pig ears with coleslaw, maple bacon, cheddar cheese, and a spicy sriracha aioli. So yeah, it basically is like a pork schnitzel, but pig ear is mostly fatty. You might see it more in pet stores where it's dried, and like they give it to dogs as just chews for dogs to chew on. But from what I understand from the process, so the pig ears are actually more tenderized and marinated. So there's a lot of sinuous fiber in the ears themselves. It is sort of like a working muscle, so that's why it's tough, but it's also like a little cartilage in there to keep the ear shape. So it's more tenderized, marinated, just to make sure it's nice and tender, seasoned, and then deep fried.
Mm-hmm.
So we
did you had
that.
bacon too, or no?
Yeah, it had bacon. So you're looking on pork here.
Pork on
maple
pork.
bacon.
Maple bacon. That sounds good. And I don't know if I told you this, Jeff, but when I would go, last time I went to the Philippines, last time I went to Manila, I would go into the market with my cousin at the Nancy,
right.
And it wouldn't be unusual to see like pig ears. And I would ask her what it's for. And she said that it's probably for sisig.
Yes, that makes sense.
So just something to think about there. And so, we're always talking about how much we love sisig. I guess there's a lot of that. Is it gelatinous? Would you call it that? Or
yeah, gelatinous.
Yeah, there's all that, the material that's perfect for sisig in an ear.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sandwich. To tell you the truth, I don't remember eating this.
I do remember eating this. Yeah, it was, even though they tried to make it tender, it was still a bit chewy.
Was it?
Yeah.
They had to make smaller pieces, kind of like sisig. Like sisig's like small, diced up.
That's true.
And they could have made it into like, not a hash, but like a, just something you scoop on versus, was it like a piece of pig ear, Jeff? Like
it was actually 2 pieces of pig ear from looking at the picture.
Yeah, it's because if they had diced it up and kind of like a manwich, and sort of did something like that, maybe it would have been a little bit better.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I remember too, we actually went with Christina, Dylan's mom, and her husband Mark, and he bought one and we bought one. We didn't know we bought one together. Like we usually buy like one to share amongst whoever's with us. So I remember like, oh, we have 2 of them, and I don't think we finished either half or we didn't finish one, because it was just like, oh, okay.
Well, I guess,
but
enough of that.
Yes, but it's just, again, food worth mentioning. So we get that.
Worth mentioning. Probably we won't get that again.
No,
it
was.
I won't get.
However, one thing that we did like was from Far East Taco. So they're basically a fusion of Asian and maybe Tex-Mex or Mexican cuisine. Was a s'mores bao. So a bao bun, is Chinese, is a steamed bun. But usually you have like banh mi inside, like pork belly or chicken with vegetables. But this one they made it into dessert. So basically s'mores, but this time they used Nutella instead of ordinary chocolate.
Nice.
So yeah, so it was just basically Nutella, and I believe they used maybe graham crumbs, then marshmallows, and maybe marshmallow fluff. Heated it up and served it like that. So that was a nice little treat.
Oh, that was way good.
Yeah,
that was like way good. Now, Jeff, when you go to dim sum, like those steamed pork buns, are those bao or is that different?
Well, they're called char siu bao. So the bao bun itself, it's different. Yeah, sorry. It is the same dough,
Okay.
And they steam it the same. It's just a different shape.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
So the bao buns, the pork is stuffed inside. It's wrapped around the pork and then steamed. So it's more like a ball.
Yeah.
With the bao bun, I'm saying it right. It looks like a very soft white taco.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they put stuff inside and eat it like that.
Yeah. It does look like it's like a thick taco, but it's a fluffier. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's actually quite good and quite tasty. And it presents well.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the s'mores bao or s'mores bun,
bao,
which is Far East taco.
That's right.
Have you seen them outside of the X, Jeff? Like, do they have a location anywhere?
I haven't. I think like most of the places in the X, they're only there inside the food building. I don't know if they have a parent company with a different name out there somewhere. But as far as I've never seen another Far East taco or Farm to Fryer or anything else like that.
Yeah, I know places like I think Bacon Nation broke out. Now they're in Kensington or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that is correct. Oh, and we actually saw them somewhere. I forgot where it was. We were driving, myself and Diana were driving downtown, and we just happened to see, and it wasn't their normal location. So if I remember, I'll put it on somewhere. But yeah, they are expanding, which is good for them.
All right, and here's something that just hearing the name of it, we're going to want to know what they're offering because they're called Heartbreak Chef.
Yes.
So knowing that we, first of all, chef, obviously going to be good food, and heartbreak, you just have a sense it's going to be like fatty and greasy and probably not good for you to eat, and also tasty.
Exactly right.
What was there, Jeff?
So they specialize in chicken sandwiches, which is like all the rage right now. I think this is like at least 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. So we had the Heartbreak Apple Fritter chicken sandwich. So they use apple fritters instead of regular buns with 2 chicken breasts, deep fried, stacked between an apple fritter, topped with their signature apple cinnamon coleslaw. Yeah.
Apple inside of coleslaw is good.
It is.
Like that. Now, can you tell from the picture, Jeff, was it 2 apple fritters or was it 1 apple fritter cut in half?
From the picture, it looks like it. I think it is 2. Even though he says between an apple fritter, I'm almost sure there was 2. I'm looking at the pictures now, and it's hard to say.
Hard to say. Well, anyway, it was. I remember that it was actually pretty good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was, because everything about it was good. The apple fritter was good, the chicken was good, and the slaw was good. So texture-wise, everything fell into place with that particular sandwich.
Oh, it did.
And ever since I guess for me, it all started with the Krispy Kreme burger, and they're just using donuts for buns, to do it with an apple fritter, it just makes a lot of sense, and
it does. Yeah.
And last week at the fried chicken festival, we had it with the mochi donuts.
Yeah.
So, apple, using donuts as buns, I always think that's a great idea.
Oh yeah. Try to expand yourself out there and
I guess it kind of started with waffles, I guess, chicken and waffle, but yeah. So, apple fritter sandwich, great idea. And something that you could do on your own, if you had even if you wanted to use, I guess, nuggets or something, you didn't have you want to try something.
Exactly right.
Have pick up an apple fritter at the Tim Hortons, pick up 2 of them, put some chicken in between it and a little coleslaw, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you are. And then, so that was the apple fritter one. And then I guess I had a sweet tooth because then we also had the Heartbreak S'more chicken sandwich. So fried chicken breast topped with toasted marshmallows, graham crackers in a chocolate sweet bun. So again, a chocolate sweet bun. So basically it's that mixture of the sweet and savory together, like with marshmallows, something that I really like is a burnt marshmallow, roasted marshmallow taste. Just that the char on the marshmallow. That's a very unique flavor on itself.
Oh yeah,
just so good.
Yeah, that's actually amongst my favorite flavors. Oh yeah, very, very high on the list.
So I'm just looking on his Instagram. He actually does now have a brick and mortar store in Parkdale. So his name's Jerome Robertson. He is called the Heartbreak Chef.
Nice.
And he's been on a lot of Canadian TV. And it looks like he was also with Guy Fieri on Grocery Games. What was it called? Yeah, Guy's Grocery Games on the Food Network.
So he has a brick and mortar in Parkdale.
Yeah.
We should pay him a visit.
We should.
We should do.
We should. Yeah, he's been on CTV News, CP24 here and there.
Good for him.
But yeah. So yeah, we should definitely pay him a quick visit, or a visit period.
Yeah, we should eat some more of his food, dude.
Yeah,
he's just got that April Frigo sandwich again. I'd be happy. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, if you look on his Instagram, there's a lot of good sandwiches there.
Oh.
It's 1316 Queen Street West.
Okay.
And where is that exactly? That is in Queen Street West. So it's Queen and Dufferin, Queen Dufferin area, west of Dufferin.
Okay.
So that's where he is.
Yeah, we should certainly visit him. Hopefully he has takeout available, right?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah.
And then
lastly
was one of our favorites. They're called the King of Curds. And basically it was just deep fried cheese curds. And you had them savory with like a marinara sauce, or sweet. It looks like I'm just pouring like little vanilla sauce, or like a cream cheese sauce on top, like a sweet cheese sauce on there. So yeah, a little powdered sugar on that variation as well.
Is this breaded or battered?
Yes. Yeah, breaded. So basically just like cheese curds, breaded and then deep fried and then served savory or sweet.
And either one sounds good to me. I can imagine like even kids that love pizza, like, just taking, deep fried pieces of cheese, like it's almost like mozzarella sticks, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And then just dipping it in marinara. I mean, how awesome is that?
Oh, exactly right. Yeah. That was like so good.
Or with the powdered sugar with a little bit of, that sounds so good.
Exactly right. And the good thing about cheese curds is like, when they're hot enough, and then I remember these were hot, so it has that gooey factor. Just, you bite into it, or grab it on each end, and just pull, and it's like a nice thing of cheese.
Yeah, it's all stretchy. Yeah, that's always so much more fun when you
it is.
Like mozzarella sticks. To make sure they're stretchy. That's
exactly right.
Fun. Yeah. So I mean, that is the second part of CNE treats, and. The CNE wasn't around this year because of the lockdown. And I remember the organizers were actually thinking it might not come back.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because they makes a lot of revenue. It is on, I think it is Crown land. So they sort of had to make up for the revenue there. So hopefully enough, this pandemic they'll find a cure, and then we can start having big crowds again, or moderate crowds, and that'd be enough to have the CNE and other state fairs and provincial fairs keep on going for many, many years again.
Absolutely. But great memories. I mean, it's like the unofficial end of summer. It's like CNE comes around, and when we were younger, it was all about riding the rides, but now it's about eating the weird and wonderful foods. All foods are worth mentioning. And so I guess that wraps up this episode of Food Worth Mentioning. And of course, we're looking forward to next time when we talk about more food mentioning. Sorry, more food worth mentioning.
That's right. And then remember this quote from Julia Child: "People who love to eat are always the best people."
And that, of course, includes my brother, Chef Jeff, and I'm his brother, Kenny Santos, and you as well, if you love to eat food worth mentioning. Thanks a lot, everybody.
All right. Take care.
All right. You've been listening to Santos Brothers Eat.
Food worth mentioning.